This episode of Off the Job Podcast is sponsored by FlexiGas.
So welcome back to another episode of Off the Job. Nearly forgot what I was saying then. I ain't done it for a while.
What's your name?
Keiran.
And I'm Pete.
Yeah, we nearly forgot the intro as well. We've got our special guest today. We've got Lucy Dixon from InstallerSHOW. Thank you for coming down.
Thank you for having me.
So, InstallerSHOW coming up. It's a big year this year. A lot going on. And
it's going to be bigger, isn't it?
It's always bigger. It's always better. That's the key messages.
Last year, I didn't think it could get any bigger because last year I was like, wow. But you know what? I really enjoyed last year's show compared to the previous shows because even though it was bigger, I felt it was more spacey. Do you know what I mean? I felt that you could actually walk around without getting do you know what I mean? It didn't feel too compressed with people. I just felt it was a nice airy space and everyone was getting around the show quite easily. Do you know what I mean? That's what I thought. So this year then, what extra are they putting on this year?
So there's an extra hall. We've got 3 halls this year. We had 2 last year. So we've got halls 5, 4 and 3A, if that means anything to you. So the extra hall is mainly tools and electrical stuff. And then there is installer build, which we're building a house. There's a 2-story house in hall 4 that's being built, probably as we speak.
Oh.
And then hall 5 is the sort of main hall that you guys all know best, I guess, which is the sort of plumbing and heating.
And that got the upstairs deal in it as well. Did it have an upstairs last year?
It went upstairs to hall 4. Yeah, so that's where we're building the house.
So you're building a house?
Yeah, we are. We've got a 2-story house being built out of sustainable materials.
Right.
With loads of new products and exciting stuff going in it. But yeah, the sort of purpose of that is to demonstrate off-site manufacturing plus traditional materials plus speed of build and affordability and sustainability. So basically we're hoping to show the government this is how you build houses quickly and
is it on
cheaply.
Schedule?
I believe so. Yes.
We're not going to get there, are we? And go, hold on, no, got rained off. The plasterer couldn't make it in. No, it's all shunted forward a bit. No, so it's all on schedule.
I mean, that is the challenge with it. Obviously, as you'll be familiar with, a lot of building projects get delayed. This one can't, we can't say, it's all right, we'll do it in a couple of weeks. It's got to be ready for the 24th of June.
Is there any familiar faces in there working on the project, is there?
There'll be people yeah. So I never know how to pronounce it, but Neeb or Neeb are providing the heat pump. We've got SIG doing a lot of the roofing stuff. So there'll be loads of brands and things that that you recognise.
Nice. It'd be good to hear, we all turn up to the show, don't realise the work that goes into it. But yeah, it'd be good to hear a bit of the history about InstallerSHOW. When did it start? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The progress through the years.
Well, it's the 10th InstallerSHOW this year. I don't think it's technically 10 years because of COVID, but it's the 10th InstallerSHOW.
Yeah.
So it started in Coventry at what used to be the Rico Arena. I've got no idea what it's called now.
I think that's where I went.
Yeah, that's where we met.
Yeah.
That's where we met at Rico.
The start of a beautiful relationship.
Exactly.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. It's your fault.
So it was obviously started life as a plumbing and heating event linked to Installer magazine, which was the print magazine that was for plumbers and heating engineers, and has sort of grown over the years. In 2022, I think it moved to the NEC. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. So and every year we've sort of expanded its remit a little bit. So welcomed in electricians.
That's where it went down.
And then in more recent years, sort of other building trades, roofers, renewables installers, carpenters, general builders, and also there's what we sort of internally call the specifier audience, which is the people that work on all that stuff, but for councils, housing associations, and developers and stuff like that. So
10 years. I think it's done amazing for 10 years. It sounds like a long time, but it's not when you're building a business. So where it is today, it's done. Who's the, if you can say, who's like everyone's got brains inside the company, but who had the vision of InstallerSHOW?
I don't know originally who did. I mean, our MD is called Mike, and he is the one that's been driving it sort of more recently in, when it's grown massively. So yes, I mean, Joe Sharp, who works on content with me, he's been there since it started. So I guess we'd have to give him the credit.
Was there any other shows around at that time as well? Oh, we know there's one that's there was effects when there.
Oh right, yeah. I was thinking, is that? Yeah, I mean, yeah, there are other shows around, but I don't think any of them. I mean, I'm bound to say that because I work there, but I don't think any of them really do what we do in terms of making it not just something that's useful and educational and informative, but making it really fun and something that people love. So I don't think anyone does that really. Yeah,
it's definitely grabbed the attention of social media.
Oh yeah, well with social media, it's obviously grown as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's what's helped Installer grow with the introduction of social media, and like you say, from COVID, when social media really exploded, that's when I found out about Installer, and I'm sure a number of other people found out about Installer and other shows that was going on around the country. So with that, I mean, it's going to grow, isn't it? When you're on there and that is part of your work, isn't it?
Yeah. I do most of the social. I mean, mainly just because I really love it. So I kind of just do it anyway. But yeah, I think you can't. Before social, you used to do things like events or a magazine or whatever, and you never really spoke to the audience. Whereas now we get that like instant feedback from people. People send us ideas through. We get ideas just from following other people. It's just, I mean, you just feel like you know what people want a lot more than you used to. Yeah. Whereas before it was just a bit of guesswork, and hopefully people turn up to the event and they'll like it. Whereas now, I don't know, we just feel like we've got our finger on the pulse a lot more than we ever did.
Yeah, of course, yeah. You need it, don't you? You need social media to grow something like that.
Yeah, and after COVID, I think, during COVID, like live events obviously were completely gone. And after it was, I don't know, it was almost, I think people enjoyed them a lot more. Because they hadn't been allowed to do them, I think people appreciated meeting up and seeing people for the social aspect as well as everything else more than they ever had before. So I think it really, really helped after COVID, helped us sort of develop, because people were just so grateful to be out of their houses.
Well, that's the
and
thing,
seeing
isn't
each
it?
other.
Like you say, it's a massive social event. If anything, it's more on the social, I would say.
People use it to get together once a year.
That's what we did it in the first place, isn't it? That's the reason I went. I didn't know about InstallerSHOW, but I knew all my mates were going from up north and this, that, and the other, and it was a great time to just pick up and like have a beer with them and just, you know what I mean, have a bit of fun. Do you know what I mean? So. Yeah, it's a social event.
Yeah, you said off camera, obviously, people will say nothing bad. What do you do for the rest?
What happened to,
What happens to off camera stays off camera, Keiran, yeah.
It's nothing bad, don't worry. But people say, well, what do you do for the rest of the year as if the event's done? So what goes into...
You're not going to ask me that.
What goes into the event?
Yeah, what do you do for the other 51 weeks in a year?
What goes into the event? Because, people turn up and it's done. But there's a lot of work that goes into it. So what is it?
Yeah, we don't just work on the event as well. We've got the Installer Online website. So we have a daily newsletter that goes out every single day with like news stories, product launches, interviews with people. So obviously we're working on that the rest of the year as well. And we do a lot of webinars and stuff. I don't know if you've ever tuned into any of those. So they're happening all year round as well. But just in terms of the show, that we have meetings organising next year's show literally the week after this one will finish. It's just, to put something that big together does take a lot of organising. I mean, obviously the sales team are doing the selling the exhibition stands. But, we're contacting people, asking them to speak. putting the content program together, working on the marketing plan. I mean, it is a huge operation.
So like, I want to know, right? When do you get the keys for the NEC? It's like, when do you get the keys and say, like, right, it's yours now? How long does that take to set up?
It's
for the 3-day show or the whole event, like when you get the keys to the NEC, how long does it
on
take?
the Saturday before. So on the Saturday, some of us arrive, not me. I go on the Sunday.
Right.
So the people that are working on the house will be there on the Saturday because it's coming in sort of parts, if you like, cassettes that sort of click together.
Prefab, yeah.
Yeah. So they'll be there on the Saturday, and any of the stands that are really big and complicated will get there on the Saturday. On the Sunday, the sort of less complicated stuff will come, and then the really easy stuff turns up on the Monday, the people that just turn up and, you know.
People like us.
Yeah.
Let's head into our sponsor's break room.
So the bonding's usually the bit that nobody enjoys, but FlexiGas come up with a proper tidy solution.
Yeah, the fittings have this third port. You just screw the terminal in, attach the cable, job done.
No hunting for clamps, no reusing old ones, it's just a clean earth bond.
Also meets the regs too. It's built in, not bolted on as an afterthought.
Cheers, FlexiGas. All right, lads, let's crack on.
So it's not really that long if you think about it to build something.
Yeah.
The
Quite
turnaround so quick.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
it's
that's what I was
crazy.
interested to know.
Yeah.
Like, how long does that take? Because it, as well, when you're there, when we're at the end of the show, things like start coming down around us and that. We're going, oh.
Yeah.
Like you walk out the hall and you walk back in, you think, where did that red carpet go? And like stuff like that, didn't you? You know what I mean? It's an operation. So does it take longer to set up or to pull down?
The setup is longer. We
Yeah.
have to be out on the Friday, so it finishes on the Thursday, and I think it's all broken down and gone by sometime on the Friday.
So it starts Tuesday, does it?
Yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
And then you're in there the weekend, and then it's got to be down by the Friday.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Is there penalties if you're late?
I have no idea, but probably.
Probably isn't there?
yeah, because you're going to have other shows come in after,
Yeah.
obviously.
But it's, I mean, I don't know if you've ever if you've ever been there during build up, like on the Monday or whatever, but it's like quite something to behold. Like it's just
It's a lot of men and women getting stuck into
there's a
tools
lot
and
of
stuff.
there's a lot of high vis and people with clipboards.
Oh, right.
Like
Lot of-
shouting at you if you
Right.
Health and
something you
safety.
shouldn't, yeah.
Health and safety, risk assessments.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like it'll ever be done. You're like, how is this going to be ready? But every year it is.
It happens, yeah.
And there's like a sort of army of people making it happen.
So before the show then you said you didn't really deal with the customers, the tradespeople. So how do you find dealing with tradespeople?
Careful.
Say what you want.
I love it. I love all of them. They're all
That's
very
a lie.
special. Some of the ones we work with or that work with us are not as good at getting back to me swiftly as I would like.
Typical tradespeople.
Yeah, I get a lot of voice notes sent to me instead of messages from people driving in vans.
Yeah. That's dead time, though. You can't blame them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's dead time.
It's
If
always
they're
like, sorry for the voice note, Lucy.
I'm like that. I'm a voice noter.
Yeah.
Because,
I mean, it doesn't bother me. I don't mind.
yeah, it's just one of them things. If you've got your hands full or something, and then you're in a van, and it's dead time. You're just like, oh, I'll send a voice note.
But do you know if you ring HMRC now, they ask you if you're if you're driving.
I'll say no. I'm a passenger.
So they must not want
Yeah,
you to talk to them if you're driving.
No, a lot of companies don't, do they? Want you to talk to them when you're driving, especially if you're the doctors. You know what I mean? They don't agree with that either. And
Yeah.
the police.
Maybe with HMRC, it's because they're going to tell you something bad and they're worried that might cause a
They
crash.
couldn't tell me anything worse. You know, I've had all my bad news from them. Mind you, I've got to put my papers in again this week.
Yeah.
My accountant, I'm doing a boiler service for her. She said, bring your bank statements round.
Have you had any experience
Already?
with tradespeople at home?
Yeah. So my colleagues are so sick of hearing about this, but I do have a heat pump, and it's been a bit of a saga.
Oh, careful.
Yeah.
No, keep going.
So it's all right now, but it's been a bit of a saga. So yeah, so I have had some experience with heating engineers, heat pump installers, and I actually built my own house. Well, not personally, but did a self build and moved in 2 years ago. So I had a lot of experience then with all sorts of different tradespeople.
What was the problem with the heat pump?
It was undersized, which apparently is quite rare. So no one believed me when I said that it wasn't working properly. But our energy bills were like £1,000 a month for the first 2 months, and I said, "Wow, I can't. I'm just going to have to turn it all off. If this isn't sorted out."
That's crazy, man, isn't it?
Yeah. So
did they come back?
Yeah, it was sorted out.
What are your bills now? 990.
They're not as low as I'd like, but they're it's about 300 a month now over the year.
It's a bit of a difference, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So
what did you personally know the installers?
No.
Do we know them? Do we know them?
No, I didn't personally know them. And it was just I don't know. It was just lots of different things that went wrong. We had one lined up, and then because of tradespeople being tradespeople, sorry, but it was delayed, and then the boiler upgrade scheme came in, and he didn't want to register for it because he thought it was a scam. So I then had to find someone else really quickly. So it was just all.
So excuse me, but like with you being content creator, you see a lot of content creators who obviously install heat pumps. Didn't you phone any of these guys?
None of them are in Suffolk. That's the trouble.
Oh, right.
My location was the sticking point. Yeah,
too easterly.
It was definitely too easterly.
Yeah, a bit too easterly.
Yeah.
A lot of them boys are up north, aren't they?
They are, yeah. I would have gone for a heat geek if I could have found one.
Heat geek. I know plenty of heat geeks. You should have come see me. I know loads of heat geeks. You know what I mean? A lot of them could have helped you out with that one. Yeah.
Well, if I had my time again, I would have done it differently.
There you go. Yeah.
How long was the self-build?
Well, again, took longer than it should have done, partly because of COVID, but partly because of, well, that was also linked to COVID, but material shortages and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that was a nightmare during COVID.
And then the Ukraine war allegedly caused shortages of stuff. So we got planning permission in 2019 and moved in December 22. So.
Not too bad, but good.
The Ukrainian war caused.
That's what they said. They said was
that a load of your labourers? We've got to go back.
They say, yeah, we've been caught up. No, it was supposedly the supply issues with materials and stuff.
Yeah.
So, I just think they tell me anything to shut me up.
But it's all finished now.
It is all finished
all
now. All
done,
yeah.
and you're nice and comfortable in there. And
yes. Yeah, it was a classic. We ran out of money and
it's always the way, innit? Like builds, I know we've covered this before. They always take longer than you think. Because what did you plan it for? What time frame did you plan it for?
Well, our builder told us a year.
Yeah, you should have gone for 2.
And it was like 3 years.
Was it 2 or 3?
Yeah, it was nearly 3.
Yeah,
it was nearly 3,
that's quite an extension. But we'll give him a bit of time for COVID, obviously. But we always say, I'd say like builders normally, if they tell you a year, add 6 months onto that one. Do you know what I mean? Before you're actually finally finished. But that sounds a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't ideal, but it was worth it in the end.
What would you say delayed it that long was COVID?
Yeah,
COVID and the Ukrainian war, didn't you hear it? I told you that.
Well,
that's what the builder's saying, isn't it? That's your excuse.
There was one really random thing that delayed it. So, and this will only mean something to you if you know Lowestoft, which I'm assuming you don't. But we were getting a new bridge over the sea, over the inlet that goes in, and they've been campaigning for it for about 60 years, and it finally got approved, and all the concrete in the region was going to this bridge apparently.
Really? That's interesting.
So nothing happened on our build for about 4 months because we couldn't get any concrete to put the floors down. So yeah, and it was all because of this new bridge. Apparently, again, I'm just going on what the builders told me.
That's interesting. That's an excuse, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Sorry, there's a bridge being built. Your house
No
ain't going to be able to
concrete.
be finished yet because the bridge has got to be done. Yeah,
But
that's,
I have to say, the bridge is amazing, and I'm glad that they did it.
this could have been part of my kitchen, you said as you walked over it, this bit of concrete here. But was it, so it goes over the, like, is it like an estuary bit? That it
Yeah,
does?
so there's 2 bridges, and everyone's been campaigning for a third for years because the traffic's awful, and we finally got it, and now there's no traffic. So
Is it one of them
it's good.
thingy bridges that go up? Because you got one of them, didn't you? I've been across that one in Lowestoft, that one.
It's called the Gull Wing, the new one.
The girl wing.
Gull, as in
Gull.
seagull.
The gull wing. I found it sounded like some sort of like female prison film then. It's like the girl wing.
It's my Suffolk accent. No, the Gull
The
Wing.
gull wing. You get a few gulls up there. They
We
big.
do, yeah.
Are they big?
Are, yeah.
Yeah.
I love them.
Do you?
Yeah.
Pain in the bum, ain't they, though?
Well, they were there first.
And they're protected, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
If you ever, I'm surprised they didn't use that excuse on you and put a gull's nest in your house saying, no, we can't move it.
No, we were worried they were going to find newts or bats or something, though, when they did all the surveys.
Nice. What I've been hearing a lot lately about InstallerSHOW that there's going to be a lot of trades there. Like, what trades are welcome? Because there's a lot of people going there, like you say, just for the social. But
Obviously, you let the Sparkies in, and now they all want to come in, don't they?
not that they're not welcome.
I'm
but
not a tradist, by the way. I get on with all trades. You know what I mean?
there's trades going there that there's stuff that don't relate. But I think that's a good thing because it shows it's getting people together. So what trades are you aiming at this year?
So we would say we are multi-trade now. So,
Anyone's welcome.
well, I don't think there'd be much of interest to, I mean, I don't know if you count these as trades or not, to a gardener or...
Painter.
We install turf. It's called InstallerSHOW. We install
I think it's all a
turf.
trade. It's all
We
a
install
trade, isn't it?
sheds.
But yeah, but any like construction trades, there'll be something of
Yeah.
interest there. I mean, there'll obviously be more for some areas than
I think
others.
I worded it wrong. I said who's welcome. I should say like
Everyone's
Who's
welcome.
not
Keiran.
welcome?
no, who would be interested in going, not who's welcome, because everyone's welcome.
Yeah, everyone's welcome. But like, what you're trying to aim for, yeah, would a
Yeah,
gardener?
what's the target
Would a
market?
landscaper get anything out of InstallerSHOW?
I mean, maybe, I don't know, but I mean that's not who we're aiming it at. No, it's
And
you
they're
know.
putting a little garden in the house, like round it, like sort of thing. Nice little white picket fence and all that malarkey.
There is a little garden actually.
There you go
but,
then.
I don't think that'll warrant a whole day out for a gardener, but
Probably not. He's got a Milwaukee lawnmower going.
but any construction trade that is interested in how we build, refurbish, heat, power buildings, there'll be something there for them.
Electricians and plumbers, all the rest of you, come along and see what we do. Yeah, basically. Do you know what I mean?
It started as plumbers. 'cause
Yeah,
we're the main
it started.
trade.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I
Because we are the main trade. Like the plumbers, they're the kings of the site, aren't they? Let's be honest with you.
Why though?
Why?
Tell me
Because
why.
we can turn our hand to anything. Do you know what I mean? Anything.
We have to have all
bit
the
of
tools.
woodwork, bit of like screwing something in, bit of like bath panelling, bit of
Electrics,
wiring. Do you know
yeah.
what I mean? Bit of roofing round your flue and all that. Yeah, and gardening because when we have to dig up a condense, boom, in it goes with like the old.
And even cleaning up after yourself.
And cleaning up,
Exactly.
which Sparkies don't know anything about. So,
I've heard that.
yeah, many a time. It's an ongoing joke in this trades that Sparkies don't know how to clear up. But it's everyone. It's like I say, it's good for everyone to get involved with. So I'm looking forward to it.
Has there been any talks of doing multiple shows, not just one? 'Cause it's going to get bigger and bigger.
Oh, here we
Yeah,
go. He's
well,
had a little sniff. He's heard something here, haven't you?
Well,
Where
we
you going
did.
with
I
this?
mean, we did do InstallerSHOW Scotland a few years ago.
Oh, did ya?
That was before I started, so I can't tell you anything about it. But I think it was before COVID.
Yeah.
And we are going somewhere I think it's more exciting than Scotland. Sorry, Scottish people.
Hey, but hang on. Then all the trades turn up with kilts on and all that. And they're like,
Yeah.
look at these. And you know what I mean? Do they wear pants underneath the kilts up there?
I'm
I
not
don't
quite
know.
sure what accent that was supposed to be.
It was meant to be a Scottish accent. Is that saying like it, Robbie? I don't know. I'm not very good at
That was a
accents.
little bit better.
that you sort of grew into it a bit.
Yeah,
there,
I
I
know.
think.
Yeah. But I never heard of that. InstallerSHOW Scotland.
Yeah, it was pre-COVID. But yeah,
It was
As I
too
say,
northerly, was it?
I
Bit
can't-
cold. I mean, you didn't like the cold in here, did you? You're not going to go to Scotland, are you? She wanted a heater on and everything.
No.
I was like, oh, come on,
No,
turn it on.
I'm trying to encourage them to launch like InstallerSHOW Hawaii or something like that.
That would
but,
be a
yeah.
good one. Although I don't think they need heating out there, do they?
Aircon though. It's
Maybe,
got to be a big
yeah,
market.
aircon, yeah. But hang on, where's this other gaff?
I was
then?
thinking about UK, but I know you're going to go with. Yeah,
What-
Yeah,
like you
so
said.
as people probably have seen on social, we're launching in New York in March next year.
Get the hell out of here! What's that? Is that any good, Robbie?
You started and
What
then you went on.
the hell?
Now that sounded Scottish.
I don't know. I'm no good at accents. Told you, didn't I?
Yeah, so it's the I can't remember the dates, the 19th and 20th of March, something like that.
Wow.
Have you booked our hotel yet?
I haven't, but yeah, I'm sure it's being sorted. Yeah, I've been.
Remember, when you book it, me and him on a room each there as well. You know what I mean?
We can share a room. It's fine.
Yeah, I've been inundated with messages from people wanting to come.
Yeah.
So
Who's that then? Can you give me any names? Anyone I know?
well, you've probably seen Dave White's sort of really subtle campaign putting the American flag up in his.
Now it all makes sense, David. It all makes sense. Right, okay, that's a little reveal, isn't it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
So
nice.
what made InstallerSHOW go to America?
So we one of our the company that owns us own lots of different events, and they run one called New York Build, which is already successful and been running a few years. So we're sort of going to co-locate with them, and we're also doing Melbourne and Sydney next year, I think. At the
Well,
end.
that's-
That
hasn't come out yet.
Drink something, Barbie.
Oh shit!
I
Yeah.
like myself for Fosters.
Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah,
Sorry.
fuck it. Why not that?
Later.
Carry on, Sheila. I'm good at that one.
Actually, I don't actually know if that's been announced.
No, it hasn't. I haven't seen
Is
that.
it not?
Come on, tell us more.
Are you allowed to announce it?
I don't know.
Let them know, because this bit's a really good bit for the comedy, because Robbie's pissing himself laughing behind there.
I don't know.
So that could happen next year.
Oh, it's definitely happening next year.
I've got
but
family.
I just
I've
don't
got
know if
family in
it's-
Australia. I could go and see them at the same time. Whereabouts? Near Queensland, Melbourne. did you
There's
say?
one in Melbourne and one in Sydney, but I don't know if both are next year or just one.
I've got to go.
The
and
fact
go
I'm
on
so
this one.
vague about the details suggests I'm not supposed to have said anything.
No, don't worry about that, Lucy. Don't worry about that.
But it's not a full-on show. We're
don't
having
care,
like
don't care, it don't matter.
We're having like a pavilion at some other show, and then with the view to launch properly the year after.
Beautiful. I'm all for that. I'm all for going to Australia. I'm pretty easy. Keiran, me, we can go,
Quickly
can't we?
text my boss.
Yeah.
It's Australia public knowledge.
Is it? If not, we're still not cutting it. No.
Robbie, can you quickly put this clip out?
Really? Now.
She's actually texting me.
It's probably not.
Oh, listen, look, we could say it's a rumour. It's
Yeah.
a rumour. It's a rumour. You know what I mean? But
So
Yeah, just
Obviously-
like if you can Photoshop in like one of those hats with corks on, just as a subtle hint.
So you're taking the same sort of route there, sort of finding out social
Plain.
media.
yeah, same sort of route as everybody else. Take 24 hours, Keiran.
In terms of social media, like, is social media it's got to be. It's got to be
I got
bigger,
Australian
innit?
followers. You know. I got Australian followers. What's his name? Can't
What's the
remember his name.
content creators like out there? You going down that route of getting them
Yeah,
involved?
well, we're I mean, for New York particularly,
We know a guy in New York.
we're looking at different influencers, ambassadors, whatever you want to call them,
They,
that we can
Chris.
work with.
Chris will definitely. Wouldn't
we
he?
had someone on here who's from New York. We done the Zoom call interview. What was his name?
Chris.
Was it Chris?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he lives in New York.
Yeah, so we're looking at different ways we can speak to the American audience at the minute.
Off the job on tour.
Yeah. He's always wanted to go on tour. He really wants to go on tour with this.
No, I don't.
Yeah, he do.
Well, America. It's a bit far, isn't it?
No.
Don't like flying.
You just come back from America, ain't you? Not long ago.
Whereabouts did you go?
San Diego.
Oh, I've been there for work. It was really nice.
Yeah, it was a work event.
You're going to San Diego as well. Is that another slip?
No. No, I went there
Everywhere.
When I worked somewhere else. I went there for a conference. It was nice.
So doing a show, is there another team that helps with that doing America, or you doing both as well?
Well, it's part of another show, isn't it? So they're going to have to
Yes,
back up out there.
yeah. So I think yes, but in terms of the content and stuff, yeah, it's still us. It's still the same people that do the show at the NEC. But yeah, we'll be working with other people as well that know the local.
How's
area.
it been working with Americans?
I haven't done it yet, so. But I have in the past, but yeah, it'll be fine. They're all very enthusiastic, so.
Ain't they? They're brilliant, ain't they?
Yeah.
It's like, I want some tomatoes with that salad, man. High five, man. They're like really cool.
I mean, it's
and
not
really
my
friendly.
natural demeanour, I'll be honest.
Yeah, but they're like that, you know what I mean?
More chilled over it.
I remember when I went to Las Vegas, right, and I was sitting at a table eating a sandwich, right, while I was putting all the rest of my money on black and lost, right? And I've gone, oh, shit, like that. And this guy gone, hey, man, you're from America. I love that film Green Street, man. And I was thinking, that's not what England's like, bruv. Do you know what I mean? But they are really friendly. They're really cool and friendly, Americans, aren't they? Sometimes a little bit too much. Like, after a week or so, you just think, go away.
I find it hard to tell if they're taking the piss or not, because I'm like,
No, because they don't get it.
yeah, but I just think surely no one's that cheerful all the time.
Don't do
Must take a lot of energy.
sarcasm with them. They don't
No.
get it whatsoever. They don't get it, and they don't get they don't get like what do you call it on social media? What do you call it, Robbie? I can't even think now. Yeah. It'll come to me in about
Do
2
you want me
days.
to tell you a story about New York?
Please
I'm
tell
trying
me.
to think.
Yeah, while I'm thinking.
So I went to New York for work before, and I was staying in this really crappy hotel in New Jersey because it was all my budget would allow, and it basically seemed like a crack house or something. It was awful. And when I had to get the ferry over to Manhattan every day, and when I left the hotel one morning, one of the other hotel rooms had the door open, and there was a guy in there putting a dead dog in a bin liner. I wish I was joking.
What?
But I'm not. He was putting a dead dog in a bin liner, and he just walked past me and then went and put the bin liner out like for the garbage men. And I was traumatized, and I happened to mention to the guy that I had the meeting with, I told him the story, and he was like, oh my God, I can't believe you've come to New York and you're having such a terrible time. So the company that I had the meeting with booked me a hotel in Times Square because they wanted me to have happy memories of New York. Yeah, so it all worked out in the end.
So
Did
to
he put
get
it
up,
in the bin?
So to get upgraded in New York, all you got to make up a story is that you see somebody putting a dead dog in a bin liner. You're in Times Square, mate. Basically,
He was like,
That's
I can't
terrible,
believe
isn't it?
you've been in New York and you've seen a dead dog. I haven't seen a dead dog my entire life. That's what he said to me. So yeah.
I went to New York, like New York, really good.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what I like about New York, right? It seems as though, right, I thought this, when I was in New York and I was standing on the street and I was just looking at stuff, you could have been in the 80s. Do you know what I mean? Not like 2020 or whenever it was we went. You could have been in the 80s because like all the street signs are still the same. You've still got really old trucks still trundling down the road, albeit there's new cars in that, but it's still sort of like, it's still a bit like timeless where nothing's really been, it still looks the same as when you see it in the movies when you was younger. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to get at. But people was really friendly and it's just massive, isn't it? It's absolutely massive. I don't know how many miles we walked when we was there, but from block to block. And did you go to see a show out there?
No, I was only there for work, so I didn't really have much time for stuff like that. I did manage to do a open top bus tour thing.
Oh, right.
Which was good. But yeah.
Satire was the word I was trying to think of.
Who's still thinking while he's telling that story?
That's how a comedian's mind works, you know what I mean? While he's like...
You're a comedian?
Yeah, apparently. No, I like New York. I'd go back definitely. I took my.
I'll make a note.
I took my ex-wife there on her 40th birthday, right, and it cost me about $5,000. And I took her there, and she really wanted to go, and I wasn't really bothered ever about going to New York. And look at there. And we went to see a bull show as well. So at the
A what show?
a bull, like a rodeo. A bull. Sorry.
Thank you for
It's a bit like you and Gull.
clarifying.
Do you know what I mean? But it went to the rodeo at the Madison Square Garden because the
I was
rodeo.
going to say, is New York known for that?
Yeah, no, rodeo
Okay.
come in town. And it was this show. It was wicked. It was really good. Like people bull riding and all that. Malarkey's loads of cowboys around town and stuff. Done that. We went to like thingy zero. What do you call it? Where the
Ground
zero. That's it. Ground zero, and had a look around and all that. And I really enjoyed myself. And on the plane home, where she really wanted to go, and I wasn't really bothered about it, I went, I really enjoyed that. She went, yeah, I wouldn't go again. What? I thought, really? Well, that's why she's my ex-wife now. No pleasing some people, is there? You know what I mean? But yeah, I'll go again though. You know.
I will make a note of that. Yeah. I mean, I would just like to say
Pen it
that
on camera. Yeah. You're gonna take
Can we
this,
get you
yeah?
to sign something?
there's a lot of people that want to come.
And Australia. I'll come to put Australian flag in my van now. Do you know what I mean? Subtly.
Stop mentioning Australia
we
because
got-
it's going to make it harder to cut it out.
Are we got to cut it out?
But
have we?
don't know, he hasn't replied.
I'll let him come to me reply. Say we're really under the cosh here. Do you know what I mean? But yeah.
Yeah, I am open to bribes, so just putting it
right.
out there.
Well,
So-
do you want to tell them your address in case you want any gifts?
Yeah, listen, if you want to
I
get
don't
to
know-
America,
I
mate.
don't know if I want people having my address, to be honest.
But if you're on the, you know what I mean, like she's brown envelopes. No, we get there anymore.
Yeah, if you see me at the NEC, just be really nice to me.
you might get to go to America. Do you know what I mean? You might get there.
Do you think Installer Show in the UK will just keep getting bigger at NEC, or do you think it will split up into different shows?
I mean, there's no plan to split it up. I think it will just, keep growing and hopefully just keep attracting more.
NEC in the end goes, we've got to get more buildings.
I
We've
mean,
got to get more buildings.
Do you think it would
I mean,
move
I
from the
think
NEC?
there's like 10 halls there.
Huge,
So
isn't
I
it?
think we've got space.
I
to
walked
grow.
round that one year, like early doors, 4:00 in the morning. Do you know what I mean? When we'd been out on a few beers after the installer show.
I was going to say, why were you walking around the
4 or
NEC
5
at
o'clock
4
in the morning? No, because that's what time we all finish. Oh, I mean, it's a proper social. And it took me forever to walk round it to my hotel. I was like, it's daylight here. I started when it was dark, but it's like massive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. There's plenty of room there. I mean, we're expecting 30,000 people this year. We had 20,000 last year. So, but with the additional hall and stuff, it won't. It's not going to feel overcrowded or anything.
No.
But
How did you find it last year compared to the year before? Obviously being a lot bigger.
yeah, I mean, personally, it was more difficult for me last year just because there was more. I was looking after more areas that were further apart. So just like logistically,
Getting the steps in.
yeah, it's just more difficult. But yeah, it was really good last year. I really enjoyed the installer trades area, which is new last year, featuring the catwalk, which I know was very popular.
Dave.
And
yeah.
so popular, in fact, that we're not doing it again this year. We're doing installer
What was
trades,
the feedback?
but we're not doing the catwalk. The feedback was great, and even though people protest, a lot of them have asked if we're doing it again. But I mean, we're not just for boring logistical reasons, not because the models were awful. I know that's what you want me to say.
No, I didn't have a problem. It just made us laugh that Dave was a catwalker.
That was the one that I thought was bad.
What?
Dave.
That's not kind, is it?
Joking,
It's meant to be our mate. But what is it this year then instead?
So we're having a lot more panel discussions there this year and tool demos as well, which we did have last year. We had the tool demos last year, but we're just putting more talks and stuff on about things like how to get paid on time, how to promote your work on social media, how to look after your mental health, how to stop your tools getting nicked, all sorts. Basically anything that is of interest to all tradespeople.
I tell you what, I've seen a lot lately in the social media regarding Installer Show is the mascots. What's going on with the mascots?
Yeah, the mascots have kind of taken over. Judy Wrench is our mascot.
Judy Wrench.
Yeah. So we do talk about her as if she's a person.
Right,
so
okay.
I apologise for that. So she has existed for about a year now, and since then it's like they're multiplying.
Who else is there now?
So, well, not from us, but there's lots of other companies.
Has Lawton got one, isn't he?
Yeah, Lawton's got Lenny.
Lenny.
The CT one, I've had one for a while, I think. And the Snug
Lenny's
Duck.
The Snug Duck. Lenny, is he trying it on with Judy?
Yeah.
Is there a love story there?
I don't know if it's love. Wouldn't go so far to say it's love, but So we're doing this thing at the moment called Installer Attraction. So if you've ever seen Naked Attraction, it's a rip off of that.
Oh right.
So
hang on a minute. What? So carry on. I've stopped you there, but I've just had in my head that David James White is going to be naked.
I mean, he might be. It's got nothing to do with me, though. Who knows what length he'd go to?
Right. Yeah.
So
probably.
So we filmed Installer Attraction where there was 3 mascots trying to win a date with Judy Wrench.
Oh right, so that's where I've got it from. Right,
so
okay.
they can. So you can still vote until May the 30th. And there's loads of prizes.
Is it not more like Blind Date?
Well, it wasn't. Funnily enough, it was initially going to be Blind Date, and I think I vetoed it as only old people will know what Blind Date
Right.
is.
Okay. So we went down the smutty route.
Yeah. Basically,
Judy Wrench checking out some nuts.
There was lots of what's the word I'm looking for?
Innuendos.
Innuendo is exactly the word I was looking for.
Yeah, see, I've got them up there.
And I mean, and then we did the mascot sports day, like a mascot games thing, and there was about 10 mascots came to that, and I keep getting contacted by brands who are bringing their mascots to InstallerSHOW. So
Right,
I think
it's a thing. They all want to jump on board.
Yeah, I think there's going to be about like 20 odd there.
Maybe we need to get a mascot. Robbie, what you like in a suit, son? Yeah, we'll have you as a big microphone. Not to be mistaken for anything else. You know what I mean? Because it could be, couldn't it? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, they are surprisingly, or maybe it's not surprising, but they are difficult to move around in.
Yeah.
It is actually harder work than you'd think.
People hire, I didn't know it was a thing until we went to that tool marking thing. It's
They
people's
hire,
jobs to like be a mascot. in the question.
We use we've used an agency to be Judy or students or
So if you think Judy's a woman, it might be a man under there and be disappointed.
Yeah, the last few
Or
times it's
vice
been a guy
versa.
called Tim. So Tim is our usual.
Tim's your Judy.
Yeah.
Tim also identifies as Judy. And he has. I can't. It's just too no. I can't.
Shall I change the subject?
Yeah.
Another thing at InstallerSHOW, which I think a lot of people are trying to think outside the box is the games you have on the stands.
Yeah.
What was your favourite game from last year?
Toss the Turd was quite good, wasn't it?
Toss the turd.
That was
My kids just done that at a weekend at a fair. They come back, they won turds.
That was
With
a
ice.
good one. You toss a turd into the toilet.
Yeah, that was on the
a good
IPG
one.
stand. That's always something like that's good. Didn't they have something where you had to get in a bath as well? And
Didn't see that one.
and there was all like I don't know, like it was like a ball pit type thing, and you had to get I don't know.
Oh, all the balls out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. There was something. There was another one, wasn't there? There was
It's a
one
lot
that
of tidying up
loads
every
of stuff.
time.
I mean, what about you guys though? Do you like stupid things like toss the turd, or would you rather it was an actual challenge or something that you have to do in your job and just to show how fast you can do it or whatever?
Well, they do that,
Silly
didn't
one.
they? Because last year they had that one. I think it was Valent. Oh, was it Valent or Glover? someone. It was take a boiler apart. That was
Yeah.
quite good. Yeah, I took part in that. Where you took part and we did like a relay. So there was 3 fitters and you all had a part to take out, like the plate heat exchanger or the fan or something else, the condense and that. And then we done a relay and teams would go up against each other. That was quite fun. That was quite good.
I think it's good to have a mix of both, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bit of serious and a bit of messing
Is there any
around.
great prizes to win though? Is there any big like prizes to win there or anything like that this year?
Well, you can win 10 grand. That's quite a big prize.
Yeah, right. I'm all on
I mean,
this.
you
How do you win that?
don't
How do you win
even have to be good at anything to
No.
win it.
Just sign up.
So you have to get, I think, 10 stamps from different stands. So there's a list.
Oh yeah, you do that every year, didn't you? Every year they do that sort of thing anyway, don't
We've never given 10 grand away.
they? Not
before,
give 10
but-
grand
No,
away,
but
but
the
you've done the
stamps.
stamp thing, didn't you? Where you go around and get the stamp. That's worth
Maybe.
doing then.
Yeah. So you'll get some kind of card or something when you get there, and then you have to go to these set stands, get the stamps, put your card in the box, and you'll be in with a chance of winning.
Right, see? So to get your hands on 10 grand this year, turn up to Installer because they've got that game where you got the stamps, you got to go around to all the stalls, get it stamped, put your card in, you're in with a chance of winning 10 grand. I'm good at advertising.
So yeah, I mean that'll be a nice little prize for someone. I mean for the installer attraction stuff, if you enter that before the 30th of May, you can win tickets to see Oasis, 1,500 quids, holiday vouchers.
Did you hear him sing last time though? I'm not interested in the Oasis anymore. He let me down at V Festival one year. Ended up with Snow
Why
Patrol.
didn't turn up?
Yeah,
Snow Patrol's alright.
that was rubbish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like it. Then we all went to V Festival to see Liam and Noel, and they had an argument, and then they didn't come on.
Didn't turn
Snow Patrol ended up there. It was terrible. It was. Or was it? I don't matter who it was. Does it? It weren't Oasis.
Well, now's your chance then.
Well,
to
no,
finally see
I've
him.
never forgiven them. Never forgiven them. That's it.
What else can you win? Your weight in copper,
Oh,
up to a certain weight.
up to.
just in case anyone was thinking of trying to bulk beforehand.
If you're 25 stone, don't bother. Do you know what I mean?
I think I did look at the terms and conditions. I think it might be 18.
Oh, really?
So,
All right, we've got a bit more bulking to do then, Keiran.
what else have we given away? Trip to Paris. Oh, and might be of interest to some people who are not very organised. We are giving away what we are calling the ultimate installer show experience, which is basically your hotel and travel paid for the whole show, plus a load of VIP stuff as well.
Oh, really? When's this? Before 31st of May?
30th, yeah.
Before 30th of May?
Yeah.
What have I got to go on to get this?
installershow.com/Judy.
Right.
So if you go on there and vote for who you think should win a date with Judy, then you'll be in with a chance of winning.
What, out of the duck, the copper, and who else?
Yeah, CT1.
Right.
I mean,
We
it
know-
doesn't matter who you vote for.
Well,
It's
we
not
know who
gonna-
I'm voting for, don't we? Anyway, if I win now, it looks fixed, doesn't it? So maybe we should cut this bit out. That's good though. A lot of things though, isn't there,
Yeah.
to interest people and get
Yeah.
involved with and
all
whet
the-
their appetite.
All the exhibitors, well, not all of them, but most of the exhibitors will have some kind of incentive going on their stand, whether that's a giveaway or whatever. So you'll just there is one I know actually. Danfoss are giving away. So their stand this year is Back to the Future themed, and they've got the DeLorean
Oh right.
or a DeLorean on the stand, and they're giving away like Lego DeLoreans.
Oh right.
So
That'd be
if
nice.
that's your thing.
Scott will get
Scott
over
will
there,
love
won't
that. Yeah, Scott will love that. He'll have some of that
he?
definitely.
He's,
won't he?
what's his branding
Great Scott.
to the
What?
Who's Scott?
Great Scott. He's Great Scott. He's an
that his actual
installer,
name, is
but
it?
his name's Scott. But he calls it Great Scott because his van is like pimped up like Back to the Future.
I like it. Well, he should.
He's even got a flux capacitor.
Has he?
Yeah, and he loves anything Back to the Future.
he should get involved.
He should. I think that they've got like a diner on their stands giving out milkshakes as well.
Oh yeah, he prefers beer.
You don't want to give out.
He'll be on a 3-day bender.
You don't want to give out his stickers either.
No, you don't want them. No. You might find a few of his stickers about. We won't go into that one though. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's
Store
gonna be
show.
good.
It's
Yeah.
going to be good. Yeah. And then we got the installer social.
We do, yeah.
New event, didn't we? The actual installer.
New place.
New place. I mean, it was plumber social, but now it's installer social, and it's at installer, so nobody has to get a bus out to Digbeth anymore to party away after the event, do they?
That is correct. It's at the NEC, and as Pointy was pointing out on Insta last week, it is open to non-plumbers and non-heating engineers. So,
is that why the name had to change?
I don't know if that's why the name changed, but
it was more inviting if it's not plumber social, isn't it? Because everyone goes, it's all plumbers and they're right tough, and they might get a bit rowdy.
We don't want anyone to be intimidated.
No, so it's installer. If you install roofs, if you install bricks, if you install wood, if you install plasterboard, and if you install turf, you are invited to install the social. So welcome, not invited, welcome. And all you need is your ticket to get in free entrance, yeah?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, so your badge that you will have had for the show, you just
There'll be a lot
that.
of prizes to give away there as well.
Yeah, and there'll be free drinks and pizza
and we'll be there and all.
Yeah, but don't let that put you off.
Oh, roasted.
Yeah, don't mention that part.
Yeah. No, it's been great. This has been very informative.
Well,
If there's anything else you want to talk about, was there anything you wanted to plug? Do you know what I mean?
Not that I can think of.
Has your mate got back to you yet? He's in a meeting.
He's read it, but he hasn't replied.
But they reply because they were on 50 minutes, and if we have to cut this, we're going to have to add another 5 minutes to the programme. Do you know what I mean?
You can tell us after. But yeah, thanks for giving us some insight.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks.
And,
Thanks very much for coming in.
You're more than welcome.
We'll wait for the flight tickets.
Yeah, well, I'll wait for the bribery.
Okay.
Thanks very much for coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.